Hello and how do you do? Today I am playing the Dungeon Sweeper. I have not beaten the game before the time of recording, and I still don't know if I have. You know, sometimes you have a few drinks and you're playing the fun games, and you're just going through it, man. It's every week's felt like a long week this month, but it's been worth it for the most part. Got to spend a lot of time with family, friends, and a lot of time gaming. Look at how serious I look as I'm clearing those minds, labeling things on the board, and gaining experience. This is a very, I don't want to call it a simple game, but it is kind of a simple game, especially compared to a lot of stuff that's available today. This game is obviously Minesweeper inspired. You click squares, they show you how dangerous things around that square are. There are different items and monsters on the board that'll give you experience or do other effects. The dragon's egg is a monster, sort of, that's always adjacent to the dragon, and it'll give you 3 experience if you smash it open and make an omelet. The mines are a monster with a power of 100, but they do not give you 100 experience. And you would need a lot of health to take down a mine, because when you're fighting a monster, it slaps you for as much health as it has power. But if you defeat it, you can slurp its XP and become stronger. Whenever you level up, you get your HP back, and your potential HP sometimes grows. So you want to level up over using the heart scrolls. But sometimes you need to use a heart scroll. There aren't too many options. It's also, I think it's important to leave monsters in the reserve on the side of the board. Like the low level ones while you explore the center if you can afford to. Because then you have a greater spread of squares to try and decipher what's around and figure out what your safe squares are. The first time you slap a square with an item in it, like a chest or a scroll, it'll just reveal the item instead of using it up, so you can save it for use later. A lot of the times when I'm starting a board, I like to click around a little bit randomly because there's not much to lose. You just start a new board if you get something right away. But you can gain some additional information besides the starting oracle thingy there. We got some fun gameplay. I sped it up because I felt like it was a lot to consume. It was over 30 minutes of me playing this Minesweeper inspired game, available on itch.io, link in description. It was pretty fun. I liked playing it a good bit. I mean, given the fact that I felt compelled to make a video on it and play it until I won, maybe. I'm not gonna fully reveal that. There's no suspense if I just tell you that I beat the game. You're gonna watch me lose a whole bunch, and it's gonna be fun. I am dubbing over because I needed to be serious, and I also didn't know what I wanted to say. I didn't know how this month's madness was going to unravel. But I'm here now, I got a microphone in my hands, I'm holding it upside down and sideways, and I got my gamer face on as I sweep those mines. I'm not sweeping any mines this time around. I'm fighting monsters, I guess. Calling it Minesweeper is untrue to the game. I've also been playing Factorio, and that's the real reason why I can't do anything, is because that game has me hostage. It has my dopamine receptors in a chair, duct taped, and it's like, hey, you gotta fix your Gleba base. And I'm like, no, not Gleba. Please, anything but Gleba. I want to get to Aquilo, but I gotta fix my Gleba, and it's madness. But we're gonna hope that progress can be made. Factorio is a pretty fun game, but this game is simpler. It's quicker. It's also fun, even if it is not quite as complex as Factorio. An important lesson from both video games and life is sometimes you're going to be defeated. There's a lot of ways things can go wrong, but with careful planning and a calm demeanor, hopefully you're able to make the best of silly situations. I had a lot of fun playing this game. There are some pretty neat features like the scrolls. There's one scroll that reveals the locations of all the rats. There's one that acts as a second oracle orb somewhere on the map. And then there's one that reveals all of the slimes. The slimes are about as good an enemy to hit as any. There's also the lovers who have 9 power. And they drop a heart scroll, but there's an achievement for keeping them both alive. Chests have 5 XP in them, and mimics have 11 power, so you gotta be certain of which one you're clicking. The mimic, will raise the danger number on a square by 11, because that's how much power it has. I did a pretty solid number of attempts because a lot of learning had to go into getting better at this simple game. There's a lot of small mechanics that add up into paving the way to success. A lot of small things that can give you minor advantages that add up over time and eventually let you soar. Learning how to better decipher where things are, because if there's a mine on the field, that means all of the squares next to it go up by 100. Meaning if there's a square that isn't in the hundreds, there are no mines, and there's 3 squares next to it. So that can help you use the process of elimination to deduct where those mines are, making them only a minor inconvenience. I used to think I was good at rambling, but I think maybe I'm tired, or maybe I'm just out of it this month and last month and every month. I'm just not in the game. Need to throw myself into a cold water plunge or go jogging in the woods at night to get a thrill that puts the life back into me. Or I just need to beat Factorio. Maybe something else. I don't know. There's a lot of options. I feel okay, largely. And I might just need to sleep better. But what fun is sleep when you've had a long day? You want to just do things. But the trouble is, I haven't been doing things other than improving at my gaming. I'm going to become a professional. I'm going to be the best Advanced Wars by Web player. That's probably very much not true, but I do enjoy playing, and my MMR is going up. I believe I'm in the 900s now, but I could easily fall out of that or keep pushing forward. I ended up watching Taskmaster and going to bed, so I'm back now with a bit more awakeness to me. I know it's a little disjointed, but that's just how I roll. Still dungeon sweeping. I need to stop calling it mine sweeping. I'm just so used to the original classic game that this new innovative twist is throwing me off guard. But something else, the other thing, we were talking about all sorts of topics. I re-listened to a little bit of what you've heard in this same video mere moments ago, and talking for an extended duration of time is a skill. I didn't realize that. Being able to edit yourself cohesively is a skill. Being able to put words to video is sort of a skill. I mean, I could just drop a photo or just record very low effort stuff, and you could say this is low effort because it's not particularly creative and above and over the top. But it took me a good amount of the energy I don't have to do this. Part of me is hoping by doing this repetitively, I can trick myself into liking the process. Because I want to get from A to B, but it's somewhat of a schlump doing so. But with, like, someone can learn how to love long distance running or taking cold showers, neither of which I like to do. I'm hoping that by exposure to manageable stress, I'll begin to fall in love with the process of getting this stuff done. Just like I love Dungeon Sweeper. I said it right the first time there. We did it. We got Dungeon Sweeper. It's been a wild month. A lot's happened, but it's been a good month. Because none of it was bad, at least the stuff that happened to me. I know that sounds ominous because it kind of is, but I just heard news about somebody else doing a thing and was like, whoa, I knew that person, and that's kind of crazy. But I'm not involved, not going to elaborate. It's its own debacle somewhere else. Plenty of things happen every month. There's a lot of bad in the world, but you can be part of the good by just not doing the bad. That's one of the few. It's like forest fires, where it's like only you can prevent forest fires. And while you personally may not be starting any forest fires, you, humankind, is the forest fires. The forest fire starters. Like, it's a collective effort to not. You have to monitor your own dumbassery, so to speak. Summer is almost upon us. We're due for some pretty exciting and flammable gender reveal parties in a few states, probably. Already in April in Michigan, there's men setting up tannerite explosives in pink powder to be like, it's a girl. So the board's getting pretty close to completed. It's a very intense situation as you get more of the Minesweeper or Dungeon Sweeper board completed. You feel more stressed because you've invested more into getting things to how they are. I was pretty excited when I was able to deduce that there was a thing there that was not bad. I mean, you just gotta look at the board, gotta do a little bit of math. How much danger is that? Alright, I see that other monster, how much danger is that? And then sometimes also you just luck out randomly and you find a gnome thing that gives you experience and you win the game. Look at that victory dance. I'm so excited to have defeated the dragon. It has been slain. Slew? I think slew's the past tense of slain. Anyways, thank you for watching. Here I'm going to scroll the end screen and tell you should try this game. Link in the description. It was fun to play. I'll be back next month with 1 or 2 videos. Probably 1, but the odds are never 0 that I could do another one. Alright, have a good one.